How can grown-up men say such things as there is some natural rights or God-given rights in the right mind? Let me give you a little example. When you fighting with someone in the streets, you don't go to God, please enforce my rights, or God, they have to, respect my rights. No, right when your rights is abused or infringed, you go into police. If your rights was infringed somewhere in Zimbabwe, who will you go to? God, church, or maybe again you will try to go to police, which will say that we have no such right here in Zimbabwe. For example, they will say simply fuck off. There is no such thing as natural human rights. There is no such thing as God-given human rights. There is only amount of rights that your state, your country is ready to provide you, ready to grant it for you, ready to support all those rights that it implemented, that it accepted. There is no such thing as basic and human rights outside of the state. Even though the United Nations is agreed on some rights, it's just agreement organization, that some things that should be done together by countries, they should be enforced together by countries. That's all. Countries accept some of the human rights to be basic on their land, or don't. That simple as that. There is, I don't know how the grown-up man in the right mind can say such things as there is God's given rights, or there is basic human rights that should be respected by anyone. People, there is only one thing that you have to understand. You have no rights at all outside of what your state can provide you or want to provide you. You have no rights outside of the borders of your state, of your country. No government on the planet, no state, no country do not have to, even being agreeing with UN, do not have to respect your human rights. If they want to, they infringe them in the way and the manner they want to, because it's their land and it's their ability, it's their responsibility to enforce those rights. And again, you won't go to church. You don't ask for God to enforce those rights. You will go to police in the country where your rights, so-called, was infringed. You will go into police and will ask police to enforce or to help you. I don't understand this. Western people, you should understand at least basic things that I don't know. 2 + 2 is equal 4. Even if there was a God, how the fuck he give you, how the fuck he is looking for execution of those rights? Through the police? Through your government? It sounds logical to you. It's not stupid or something, right? People, get real. There is no rights. There is no human rights, there is no basic human rights, there is no rights outside of what your government can allow you and want to allow you. Can enforce and allow, I don't know, not allow, but can enforce and want to enforce. That's it. Your rights existed as long as some governments of some countries, some states, agree to enforce those rights. If there will be disagreement between two countries, and one country do not respect your rights, but other do, and it's happened to be that you in the country that don't respect your rights, what you gonna do? Ask your country to invade that country just to help you, just to enforce your rights? It sounds logical? And again, you will not ask for God, and you will not ask for United Nations to invade this country. And even though United Nations will invade, it will use the forces of some state that agree to enforce those rights. And here we are. The one simple thing that you have to understand: there is no rights outside of what your government want to provide you and can provide you. Therefore, stop believe in bullshit.